Welcome, everyone, to episode 364 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Will.
Can I say Corey?
Yeah, of course.
Who?
I'm Val.
Corey. And Val.
And Val.
Yeah, so today's episode has a full crew. We're four. We're going to be talking about the awesome adventures of Captain Spirit. So for those of you that don't know, it is supposedly the prequel to Life is Strange 2, which the first episode comes out in September. There's supposed to be some story tie-ins. It's a completely free game, so if you're interested in trying it, you can download it on Steam, PS4, and Xbox One. I thought I saw that it was coming to Switch, but it is not on the Switch right now. But I swear it was on their E3 Nintendo Direct, but I guess not. Because I was like, oh, I'll just download it and play it on the Switch, and not there. But anyway.
Do we know, just quickly, Dan, what the install base is for the Nintendo Switch? Like, number-wise, how many people have Nintendo Switches in the wild?
I think it's close to 20 million.
Okay. Yeah.
It might be over 20 million at this point.
I was just going to say, anything remotely popular should be ported to the Switch at this point. Then.
Absolutely. And there's no reason...
especially if it's as easy to develop for as they say it is.
And we're not talking about a graphical...
masterpiece.
A graphical masterpiece, thank you, yeah. In the Life is Strange game, so...
Right.
Yeah, that's going to be our main segment. We are going to be talking spoilers, too, for those of you that have not played it. It's such a short game. Corey was saying before the episode, it's such a short game. You really have to talk about spoilers. Maybe we won't necessarily spoil the very ending of the game, but we will talk about the vast majority of it. So, Will, do you have anything you want to tease?
I put about 9 hours of Hollow Knight into of gameplay the other day.
Nice.
So we'll be talking about that. I'm obsessed with Hollow Knight. You know what? I didn't even play Captain Spirit because I assumed my internet would hold up, and I really, really wish I played the 2-hour game the day that I put 9 hours of Hollow Knight in, so I could partake in this segment.
Sure.
But
Corey, anything you want to tease? Are you going to be on for the whole episode?
I think I might stick around. I don't have anything going on.
Nice.
If that's okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't want to overstay my welcome.
No, you're always welcome.
I played pretty much the only game I've been playing ever since I left the regular appearances on the podcast is Ni No Kuni 2. So I have some final thoughts on that game. I also am a new, again, owner of a Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
So I played a little bit of Dragon Quest Builders today, which I could talk about too. So, but that's it.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you, Val.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah.
Anything you want to tease?
I played a little Super Mario Brothers Wii U.
Okay.
And I really enjoy that.
Yeah, that's a fun game.
Yeah.
I don't have anything I want to tease. I've been bouncing around between playing more Breath of the Wild than I probably should still. I've been working on the Trial of the Sword. I try to play other things at night, but it just doesn't work out. I haven't... Go ahead.
Sorry, I feel like I'm going to ask a million questions.
That's fine.
I'm so out of the loop with games, but what is Trial of the Sword?
So Trial of the Sword, that's one of the DLC packs, and it's like trials that you have to complete to increase the quality of the Master Sword. So it's quite difficult if you die during it. I completed the first two Trials of the Sword, and if you die at any point, like, you go in naked with nothing, and you have to... It's like Eventide Isle. You just have to gather stuff slowly. Yeah, it's really, really neat. But if you die at any time, you have to start over from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's been quite fun. I played more Hollow Knight, like Will. I played more Mario Tennis Aces. So that's what I played. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get right into... The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. So, I don't know about you guys, the first thing I noticed when I fired up this game, and I would have noticed this if I had been blindfolded, but the music, right when you start the game, is very Life is Strange.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, no, and that's, I almost feel like it's exploiting me a little bit, because it's those, like, sappy, sad, like, folk
slow
indie
guitar
songs that just take advantage of your emotions.
Absolutely.
But I'm with you, Dan. Like, as soon as that little intro the winter montage with the music and everything, I'm like, oh yeah, this feels like Life is Strange.
I'm back, baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the instant the music started, Dan and I were just like, oh crap, they did it.
Yeah,
Like, there it is.
exactly.
They
Yep.
did it. Yeah. Just
So-
the music.
So yeah, it's the story of a boy named Chris who is 9 years old, and he's living at home with his kind of a drunk of a father.
Kind of.
Kind of. He's the game starts off with Chris in his room, playing with his toys and stuff, and his dad's calling him from out in the hall, and kind of yelling a little bit. And you go out there, and he's cooking breakfast, but also slamming a few beers during breakfast, first thing on Saturday morning.
Yep.
So
Game day, Dan.
Yeah.
It's game day. You can forgive him.
Yeah, he was gonna watch a basketball game of all things.
Yeah.
But Corey, I mean, I wanted to get your thoughts. First off, you are not playing as many games nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what did you feel about it? I mean, did it bring you back in? Did it make you interested in Life is Strange 2? Because I think we had talked at some point about that being a tough act to follow. Like, where do they go from here, as far as continuing the stories of Chloe and Max?
Well, so let me ask a question. The Life is Strange 2 is not about Chloe and Max, right? It's a new location, new characters.
I am not sure about that.
So
Yeah.
I checked Wikipedia before this episode because I wasn't sure either, and that's what it said.
Okay.
So, but I don't know if that means that the Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit is the setting and characters, or if it's going to be something else.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any idea?
I know when I beat it, it mentioned that this introduced you to a character that's going to be in Life is Strange 2. So I'm assuming that's the little kid Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Yeah.
in what capacity he's going to be in Life is
Right.
Strange 2, but he is going to be in there in some way, shape, or form. So
Right. Okay. Well, anyway, to answer your question, I really liked it.
yeah,
If only because it tugged on those heartstrings that Life is Strange is so good at. It was also kind of cool to experience what it would be like to have a single parent, what it would be like to have an alcoholic parent, neither of which I've ever experienced.
yeah.
And that said, I feel like they did a pretty good job of presenting that to you through the perspective of a little boy. But again, I don't really have any experience with that, so.
Yeah, I think that, again, like you said, that's one of the things they managed to do well with these games is they put you in that situation. Why is my phone ringing?
Nobody calls you, Dan.
It's Grandma calling me at 9 o'clock at
Grandma?
night. She's the only one that ever calls me.
that one.
No,
I was
not
gonna
At
say,
9?
That might be
It's her
concerning.
TV's probably broken.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Didn't she go to bed
Watch
at like
Dan
8?
ignore his grandma.
well, it's just such bad timing,
Yeah, it always is.
If she'll leave me a message if it's important, and I'll call her back if it's an emergency.
Fair enough.
But where was I? Yeah, no, I feel like they do a good job of putting you in the shoes of someone Life is Strange. They put you in the shoes of like teenage girls. Like I have no idea what that's like, but I feel like they did a good job of putting you in those shoes. So
Yeah.
that's a good point, Corey.
Yeah.
That's an experience that we don't have. So
Right.
Yeah, I think that's why, like, Life is Strange, I didn't play the last part because it was so real to me that I just, like, had anxiety and I couldn't do it because I knew what was coming and I was like, I can't, like, live this.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It
And that-
definitely
I mean,
does a good
that-
job.
And that comes from just good storytelling, like
Yeah.
the fact that it had that effect on you, Val. And I felt it too playing Captain Spirit. I had
Oh, yeah. Instant.
right, yeah, I had a friend growing up whose parents were both alcoholics, and I could see a little bit
Wow.
of similarity there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the thing that struck me, and I said this to Dan right away, so I was a first grade teacher for 8 years in a really high needs school district where, kids were living in poverty, they had single parents, they were taking care of their siblings when they were 6 and 7 years old. And it hit me like a ton of bricks that, like, this is what the kids that I had in my classroom were experiencing. And I was like, whoa, like, no wonder they were crying when it was the weekend, and they were crying when it was summer break, or crying for Christmas break. I'm like, why aren't you excited? It's Christmas break. But the kids were going home to something like that, and it hit me so hard. I was like, I didn't even feel this in 8 years of teaching, but from like Captain Spirit, I was like, oh my God, I know what the kids felt, and I feel terrible. Like, it's so sad. I just felt sad, like, instantly. So.
Yeah, and it's such a different, again, it's such a different world to what we're used to. I mean, when vacations rolled around, we're like, yeah, we're going to more school. Yeah, but like that's a really good point, Val, and I never really thought of it like that. But yeah, how awful would that be to have to go home to that every day?
Right, like that's what your life is. Like you're alone, and you have to take care of a grown-up that should be taking care of you. Like it's just so sad, but it's very much reality for a majority of the kids that I worked with.
Yeah. One thing I noticed too is that I thought was weird was the way they kind of tiptoed around each other, both of them, even the father to the son. They were both kind of careful about the way they said things and the way they reacted to certain things. I thought that was interesting. So the father, he cares,
right?
But he just has a bad way of coping with what he's going through, which kind of made him at least a little bit of a sympathetic character for me.
Yeah, me too.
He definitely went about all that the wrong way.
Yes.
But I can kind of understand his pain,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It wasn't black and white, like bad alcoholic mean parent. It was you could see the frustration come out of him, but then he would try to backtrack a little bit and try to be a good dad. So you could tell there was something haunting him that was causing it. And I mean, I don't think it was ever explicitly said, but it was the death of their mother, his wife, that caused this alcoholism. At least that's the vibe I got.
Yeah.
From playing the game.
Yeah, pretty much right away. I was like, something happened. Like, someone's missing. Like something, triggered this. And he's trying, but he's not doing very well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the way Chris, I don't know if it's a way he copes, but he spends his time pretending to be a superhero called Captain Spirit. He's got a very elaborate system of superheroes and supervillains that all kind of play into his world a little bit. And there's places in the game where, Chris's imagination just completely takes over and you enter this world that he's in. One of the times is when another thing he does that's impressive to me, and again, you express this through teaching, is the way he takes care of the house. Like there's he washes the dishes I should say. I ended up doing that when I played. He washes the dishes, he cleans up the beer cans, he lit a fire in the stove to heat the house, and he reset the water heater or water eater as he called it.
Yeah, the water eater, I loved that.
Yeah, he was the grown up, for lack of a better word, in this household, and you had expressed that to me a few times from your days of teaching. So
yeah, I mean, I had kids, like I said, taking care of their younger siblings. I had kids that would tell me they walked to the store in the middle of the night because they ran out of food. I mean, it's literally, that's literally life. So
yeah,
it's an interesting perspective to bring into a game like that just tugs on you right away with their stinking music and their backdrop and the whole thing.
They definitely have a good formula at Don't Nod. It's Don't Nod, right? Is that the studio?
Yep. So yeah, I don't know. What about you? What's your takeaway from it?
I think it was overall sad, like I said.
One thing I wanted to mention too, and our son is just a little bit younger than this kid in this age, so that kind of brought me into it a little bit more, I think, than I otherwise would have. Like how I just don't understand how a parent could be like that to their child. That's very hard for me to understand. But go ahead.
No, I think the second his little face flashed on the screen, I was like, I don't know if I can do this because I instantly thought of Max. Like I was like, this is gonna be like some horrible, sad, horrendous thing, and I can't function. But I was like, I'll give it a chance. I think that I really liked it. I think some of the side stuff, I think we got carried away on a little bit, maybe. But I think, like I've, said, I think it's a good way to tell a story of things that are really happening in kids' lives. And I think it's just really interesting. Like, it definitely piqued my interest in Life is Strange too, because I want to know what's going to happen next. Because, you know, you're rooting for the kid, but I think I'm also rooting for the dad because...
Yeah, to get it together.
Yeah, to get it together, because I think he wants to, and I think he's close, but he just needs to get help. And so it is, like you were saying, it's not black and white. It's like, I don't know how to feel about him. You know, I'm rooting for him, but I want to punch him in the face at the same time and tell him to clean up his act. So I think there's a ton going on for it being such a short little bit of a game, you know, to really say, like, I just want to see what happens next and, you know, with the ending and everything. So
more details too. A couple things. I don't know if you caught these, Corey, or I think we kind of read them together. But
yes.
The tie-in to Life is Strange is his mother went to Blackwell.
Oh, I didn't.
I don't know if the father did, but the mother definitely did. There's a letter from Principal Wells.
Yep.
To Chris Erickson's mother.
Yep.
And also, it seemed like he was unplanned.
Yes.
To me, because
okay, how'd you get that vibe?
Okay, there's a letter. She was going to Eugene State College in Oregon, and she had to withdraw because of a pregnancy. Yeah. So I'm assuming he was unplanned. So that, I think that factors into it, into the relationship with the father and the son. You know.
Yeah.
That maybe the father didn't necessarily want to have a child, which is the impression I got towards the ending too. So we'll get there.
Yeah, I didn't actually get the vibe that the dad didn't want him because he was unplanned. I think because of whatever events transpired with the wife, I think that's why.
Yeah.
I got more of that vibe that he like holds hostility against him because he's a reminder of her or a part of her.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know how I feel about that, you know, like it's not his fault. I don't know. So it's very interesting. Lots of emotions like in there for sure.
Yeah. And it only took me like an hour and 5 minutes or something to get through it. So I feel like I missed a big chunk. But to your point, Val, like that hour and 5 minutes was a roller coaster.
Oh yeah. Yep. It was
intense.
Dan,
so I never went in the basement. Did you guys go in the basement?
I didn't know you could get into the basement.
Okay. Because doesn't he want to go fix the water heater?
Yeah,
heater?
That's just like a closet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a side dark room or something.
How long did it take you guys to beat Captain Spirit?
Just a hair under 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So what did I miss?
Well, we tried to do a lot of the side stuff, and a lot of it was banging our heads against the wall, like later on.
Yeah.
Okay.
After we had done some of the stuff, we couldn't figure. We were, like I said, both really tired when we played it.
Falling asleep.
Yeah, because it was. I think it was like 12:45 or something.
Yeah, it was
and we were
really
like,
late.
we can't play this anymore. We're just look like idiots.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure out the maze part and the fighting the snowman.
Yeah.
Because it's neat the way that it keeps track of your quote unquote quests is it's like a piece of paper with drawings on it that Chris had done for your quest log, so to speak. And when you complete something,
cool.
it shows it's colored in on the quest log. So that's really, really a neat thing. So
yeah. Yep.
So can you actually complete everything that's on that sheet?
Yeah. Apparently unlocking the cell phone's pretty difficult.
Okay, because I only had one of, was there like 6 or 7 graphics on that sheet? I only had one of them like completely filled in. I must have missed a ton of stuff, and I don't know how.
Yes, you did. Because we got like 5 or 6 of them probably.
Yeah, we got a lot.
I just remember being in the middle of something, and then all of a sudden that woman knocks on the door.
Well, that's how you end the game, and I didn't know that. So the way you trigger the end events in the game is waking up your dad from being passed out after the basketball game. So no matter how far you are, no matter how much of the side stuff you've completed, if you talk to him after the game's over, that triggers the end events.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Because that's what I did this morning. Like I was just like, oh, I'll just because we had kind of exhausted options at that point, and I wanted to put it down to revisit it today. And when I started it this morning, that's what I did first thing right away, and it was like 10 minutes worth of content left. So, because at the end of the game, you wake up your dad. We'll run through this. You wake up your dad, and he gets up and is annoyed with you that you woke him up, and he trips and falls, and hurts himself. Go ahead.
I was gonna add, you wake him up because he was supposed to take you to get a Christmas tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he tells you to wake him up so you can go get a Christmas tree.
Because we're gonna go get the Christmas tree, champ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you wake him up. He trips over. He hurts himself. He does some cursing. There's a knock on the door.
A ton of bricks.
Yeah. Hurts himself.
Yeah.
So there's a knock on the door. It's what I'm assuming is your neighbor. And she's just wondering how you're doing. She said she heard a noise, so she's just checking on things. And after you go back, you and your dad kind of confronts you about the conversation at the door. And that's where the revelation of what Val was talking about earlier, that he kind of equates Chris to his as a reminder of his lost wife. He says something like, "Seeing your face just brings it all back," or something along those lines.
Reminds me of her.
Yeah. And like you could tell immediately he feels bad about it. But Chris is like, no, I don't want to talk about this anymore. And he runs outside. He goes to climb up the treehouse thing and falls. It's a pretty big fall, and like a foot before the ground, he like stops and slowly floats down the rest of the way. And that's where it cuts out.
Yep.
So
I was like, seriously?
Yeah.
So how did, now that we discussed that, how did the rest of the like magical things happen? Was that actually him like performing something that is out of this world, or was it just showing us a certain version of it, where in reality like he was lighting the log on fire with a lighter or something?
Well, no, I mean the others, like turning on the TV and stuff and getting the thing to fly, like they showed him actually doing that with his hands. And all that's like, it'll show like at the end of the scene. It's coming up right here. Yeah. Actually, if you're watching in the chat, it shows him like with his left hand. It looks like he's controlling it with his, but he's actually got, yes, you can see he's actually got it in his left hand. But that's the only time where something like legitimately crazy happens, because he does like slow down and almost stop and slowly floats down to the rest of the way. Yeah. Now, what my thought is I wonder if they're going the route of like a Heroes with the Life is Strange universe, with people who all of a sudden come awake with like special powers. Yeah. You got your Max Caulfield, who was like a little bit like Hero from Heroes.
That's true.
And then
I didn't even think about that.
Chris here, who obviously has something different going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's interesting you bring that up too, Dan, because one of the things that's important to the Life is Strange universe is that one like dialogue-based gameplay mechanic. And in the first one, it was the ability to rewind time and try different answers to questions in order to get information that you could then use against whoever you're talking with. Yeah. And then in the second game, it was using Chloe's talkback or whatever skill.
Right.
So I'm wondering how Captain Spirit, or whatever you want to call it, Life is Strange 2, like how that mechanic of his quote-unquote hero abilities play into that, because like I feel like that's a big part of Life is Strange. We have the story elements and choosing what you say, which is a big part of it, but then there's this other gameplay element that is always a big part of Life is Strange. So I'm curious how that will manifest in this new game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Is it going to be like, I don't know. How does a superpower, I don't know. Yeah. How do you do that in a dialogue tree or something? I don't know.
Or maybe it's just going to be the same one that's in this game, and that's, Chris using his quote-unquote superpowers, but which is mostly imagination in this case. But
which is fine, but isn't that boring? Like just to push a button and use a power?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to like Chloe's talk back, where you have to actually choose what you're saying. Yeah. Choose the most cutting phrase.
I mean, they may have that mechanic more filled out for the actual game.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I'm just intrigued to see like what's going to happen next. And you said September?
Yeah, normally that's when the first episode comes out. Normally I would wait until all the episodes come out, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that this time. I think maybe we'll review every episode individually and then them as a whole this time around, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to wait. I love these games, so
Yeah, I won't be able to wait.
yeah.
I'm waiting long enough for Game of Thrones. Gosh
I
darn
know.
it.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
So when I was playing, I took like notes on things that I loved. So I'll just quickly go through them.
Yeah.
When you drew your superhero,
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a lot of fun.
it was.
Yeah, that was really
choosing
cool.
the parts for him.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of when you did the Dungeons and Dragons with Chloe and that group
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
in the last game, which I kind of wish they made a whole game about. But I
Yeah.
guess this is kind of close to that. It's so nice to put yourself in the essentially the body of this kid and do these creative things and create this superhero, and you choose what you want to look like, and then by the end of it feels customized to you. You're like, that's my superhero. I created this. It's me and Chris. Like, we got this. This is our superhero.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
Agreed.
Yep.
The initial breakfast scene where you're interacting with your dad, like there was just so much good storytelling packed into that initial scene, like subtle hints at things. And it sucked because go ahead.
The tiptoeing around it, like that
Right.
that was crazy. Like that set up the scene so well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You could really feel the tension there, between both of them, from both of them.
Don't you end up making your dad mac and cheese for breakfast or something
Yeah.
like that?
Because
Yep.
he can't take care of himself.
Right. Because he doesn't eat.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that I really loved, I don't know if you guys took a minute to stop and watch the basketball game animation on the TV.
No.
No.
So it's surprisingly in depth. I think I watched for like 2 minutes, and it was unique the whole time. And it was really
Wow.
cool because it was this really crude animation, but it was different for that whole time I was watching it.
Wow,
Players
that's
running
really
up and down the court, shooting the basketball. I think the reporters came on screen at one point,
Wow.
Wow.
which I had never seen in a
That's
game
awesome.
before.
That's
That
really
was pretty
cool.
awesome. Another moment I had a great time with was when you lay in your dad's bed listening to the record.
Didn't do that.
Oh yeah, we didn't.
You guys didn't do that?
No.
Okay, so do you remember in the last game where you're Chloe and Rachel, and you go, like, Chloe has the awful revelation, and then
Yep.
you're in her bedroom, or is it Rachel that has I can't even remember.
It's Rachel, yeah.
Yeah.
Rachel, yeah. So you're in the bedroom just laying together, and it pans around, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
sad music, the exploitative stuff we keep talking about.
Oh yeah.
So that happens in this game where you can put in a record and lay in your dad's bed, and I actually feel like this was a lot better done than in the Life is Strange game because it pans around the whole house. And that was the first time I saw the dad passed out with whiskey next to him. I didn't even know he was drinking whiskey. Up to that point, all I knew he was drinking was beer. So we're still like Saturday morning, and dad's got like 4 beers in him and a big glass of whiskey.
Oh yeah.
But it also shows like little bits and pieces about the house, like the wallpaper peeling, all those kind of things, like neglect.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Which I thought was really cool. So there was a lot of really, really interesting things packed into that little free demo.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts, Corey?
I don't think so. I'm really excited to see what Life is Strange 2 is all about.
Yeah, as am I. I thoroughly enjoyed this game. Wasn't sure how I'd feel with it not being about Chloe or Max Caulfield, but it's the same stuff. They tell such a good story. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I loved it too.
Yeah. I love that it had the same feel as Life is Strange, but was completely different, and I still felt like I was in that world, and I was immersed immediately. Because when I saw it was, like a young kid, I was like, what are they gonna do here? I don't Captain Spirit. I don't get the title. I just had a lot of. I didn't doubt it, but I was just not really sure what to expect, and I was very pleasantly surprised. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Any predictions for Life is Strange 2?
We have a feedback about that actually.
Oh, okay.
An interesting theory from Tate.
Ooh.
So, should I talk? Should we bring that up now?
Sure.
Okay, might as
Why
well
not?
since we're talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear this. Because I really don't know.
My theory is that you play as the dad.
Oh.
Oh.
See things more from his perspective.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Tate says, I'll read the rest of this during feedback pieces. So I played Captain Spirit, and if this episode wasn't actually on Captain Spirit, then don't worry about reading this part because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone else. But I really enjoyed the awesome adventures of Captain Spirit, mostly because it felt good getting back into the world of Life is Strange. I honestly would love to live in that area. Anyways, I have a theory of how this will tie into Life is Strange. Here's my bold prediction, and once again, if this is too spoilery, don't worry about reading any further. But I predict that Chris's mom died because Max had to make a decision and tried to save her, but it ended up killing other people because Max was messing with time again. And in the end, Chris's mom had to die. Either that or Max had to save someone else with her abilities and ended up killing Chris's mom. We will see what happens.
Whoa.
Love that theory.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, one thing I thought was interesting too is the kind of the arch nemesis of Captain Spirit is Metoroid, and it's two streets pushed together, two street signs, and that's what form the name. Did you guys catch that?
No,
not at all.
Yeah, that was when he lands on the planet for I think it's Metoroid is his name.
Metoroid, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, it's two street signs pushed together, so that must be where. I don't know if there's a car accident or where the mother's death ended up happening or something happened there that caused that to be the nemesis in Chris's world. So
interesting.
I hope they spill that out. Maybe maybe Tate is right here. Maybe it has something to do with Max Caulfield.
Yeah.
You know,
I actually had the thought that it might have something to do with Max, just because, like, I feel like she would have to have some connection.
Yeah.
I just kind of could feel that. I don't know. And I feel like I think my thoughts are he's part of something bigger, maybe, that we don't, I don't know what that could be, but maybe he's just a big piece of something bigger.
Yeah.
That's happening there, wherever they are. Because they never specify.
Did they ever address where Max's powers came from?
No.
Was it just part of the whole storm thing that was happening?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe this is a whole thing of people that are gonna have, like you said, heroes.
Like heroes, yeah.
Yeah. And it's still in Oregon, right?
Yeah, I know the game is in Oregon. I don't think it takes place in Arcadia Bay just because of the snow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
It might be up in the hills a little bit, but it's close. And like I said, the tie-in was Chris's mother went to Blackwell.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I wonder how much Blackwell will have to do with anything. Maybe too.
It's got to be in there somehow.
Oh, it's got to be there. Creepy.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
No.
Worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
it's free. There's no reason why. If you're even remotely interested, you have to try it. Mm-hmm. And it may get you into the other Life is Strange games, which I would also highly recommend.
Gotta do it.
All of them. So
gotta do it.
We're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna listen to my voicemail, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Yikes.
I know it's her TV.
Yeah, but at 9 o'clock, doesn't she go to bed at 7:30?
No, she watches TV until 10:30 or 11.
Oh wow!
All right, I'm gonna mute this. Hang on.
All right, I'm gonna readjust too. So.
We never use this door in winter because of the snow.
Come on! Oh yeah! Score!
Now you will learn your lesson and stay clean.
All right.
I hope I set this right.
Oh, that's nice, Chris. You're better than a housekeeper.
There's my hot dog man. I can't see Dad selling homes. Whoa, is he getting us tickets again? Best dad ever. That'd be a blast being a freight hopper. Choo-choo. Oh, those are Dad's pages.
Just don't ask for a raise.
I need a pin code. What is it? There's my hot dog man. I can't see Dad. Whoa, is he getting us tickets again? Best. That would be a blast being a freight hopper. Choo. Oh, those are Dad's pages.
Are you serious? Shoot better than that guy any day.
I wonder why Dad never hangs out with Nick anymore. Headshot!
Ow, cheap shot. I'm going down. You can't kill the zombie jock.
No way! That was a headshot!
I am a super zombie.
Well, I'm a superhero!
Can't argue with that. Zombie down.
Captain Spirit strikes back. I wish I could have gone on a hike with Mom. This has to be Mom's. She liked art. Let's check this out. Ooh, that looks scary. I should read that.
What up, Big T Bird?
Damn, you're on fire.
Will, you there?
Okay, I'm back. Will fell. Oh, there's Will. Did you fall asleep, Will? Tate,
Will?
We just addressed your theory on the episode. We had to take a break because my grandma called me. Ow. It was not important, Corey, just like I thought.
You know what happened while I was readjusting? I dropped that entire bottle of watermelon vodka, and it smashed all over the car.
Was it full or almost full?
No, there was like maybe a quarter of it left. So,
okay.
But I still have to replace it because I don't live here.
Oh, you were borrowing it.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
So, what is a bottle of Smirnoff watermelon vodka cost? Like $20?
Smirnoff? I think Smirnoff stuff's expensive.
So I was muted. I'm sorry.
I would guess 35.
Damn it. Well, now I have their Kettle One, so hopefully I don't bust that one.
Just put water in it.
Ugh. Yeah. Just fill it with water. Ugh.
No, I didn't fall asleep.
You were tempted.
I was playing Hollow Knight.
Nice.
I'm gonna just fill my cup up with water or ice. I'll be right back.
Yeah. You're
2
fine.
seconds.
You are fine. What a fantastic game. You missed, Will. You missed out.
I'll play it. I'll
You
be
should.
playing it.
You should.
How long is it?
It took us like 2 hours, but we walked around aimlessly for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, if you really work on it, probably an hour and a half is safe.
Okay.
Her grandma's dehumidifier wasn't working, so I'm gonna go tomorrow and fix it. I knew it wasn't important. She's like, I don't know when to call you. I was like, well, 9 o'clock on
Never.
Thursday is not a good time.
Yeah, no, that's probably not the time.
What do you mean? That's the perfect time.
There's never a good time to call.
No.
They're really, because I'm surprised Gimli didn't start, or did he start barking?
I think he's trapped in the basement.
Oh yeah, he's downstairs.
So I think because he went down there with Marlo and didn't come back up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I should get my nibble bits ready. It's hot in here.
It is hot in here.
It's like, oh yeah.
I realized too the kid in Captain Spirit reminds me of. It's like Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like a young Macaulay Culkin
Yeah.
from would play him in a movie from
Yeah,
Home Alone.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, Corey is back. Corey's going to be on, I think, for a few episodes. I would think. I think everyone's going to be on for the Octopath Traveler episode, because Eric got it. Me and Will bought it digitally, and Corey just got. Well, that we'll see. I don't know if he's. No, he talked about it. Corey got a Switch. Again, is going to be playing Octopath.
No, it's all right, Tate. I get it. Corey's the star.
It's the same. It's the same in our family. Corey's the favorite.
Yep. Used to it.
Yep. Allergies, Will?
Yeah, they're really bad right now.
Yep. I haven't gone outside much, so mine have been okay.
Yeah.
Well, mine's because of the cats like to come in here and I kick them out often, but...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Octopath is tomorrow. I got it digitally. So Will got it digitally too, I think. So I will be playing it shortly after midnight. I can't flip and wait.
Tonight?
Yeah.
Well, that's good, because I'm going to be up like most of the night.
Yeah, that's fine. So will I now, apparently.
I don't want
I don't have to wait till tomorrow.
I don't want to.
Okay. Well, should we get started again?
Ready when y'all are.
Ready? Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 364 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. We are now in our Nibblebits segment. Will, do you want to get us started with Nibblebits?
Yes. With
Sarah.
Corey returning, I got my first nibble bit that's kind of directed towards him. But, Corey, you remember how the Dragon Ball Z Broly movies were not considered canon?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
The Dragon Ball Z Broly movies, they weren't considered canon?
Really?
No.
I didn't know that.
So, but get this. The new Dragon Ball Super movie that's coming out in January, it's a reboot of Broly, and it's going to be considered canon.
Nice.
So, that's going to be coming out. I'm pretty excited for that. Toriyama kind of went into detail about the changes to Broly. I haven't read any of it because I haven't seen any of the other Broly movies, so I kind of want to do that first.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's exciting. I'm still watching through Dragon Ball Z again for the second time. It's become The Office to me at this point with how much I watch it. So
Impressive.
yeah, I love it. My next one is Nintendo will give us more information for the Switch's online component in September. So we'll get to figure out what exactly we're going to be getting, if there's a virtual console coming with it, kind of more on the pricing and how the family sharing all works. So looking forward to that because I don't really know how any of it's going to work.
Yeah, they've been somewhat mum on the details, and it comes out in September, right?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think
Right?
so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the official launch in September. So yeah, there's that. And last but not least, I didn't know this was coming out. This is pretty cool, but Far Cry 5 DLC, the new one that's coming out July 17th, is Mars based. So you're going to be on the planet Mars. So that's going to be pretty cool. It looks outlandish, kind of like all of the other Far Cry content.
Okay. Nice.
So yeah, there's that. That's it for me though.
I got a couple quick ones. Tito sent this to us, actually, and that's a Monster Hunter World PC release. Date was announced. Corey, you might be interested in this.
Yeah.
August 9th, 2018.
That's right around the
Soon,
corner.
yeah.
Oh my god, that's really soon.
So I'm excited for that. I checked out the specs. They're not super high. Not as high as I thought they would be. So that's a definite buy for me when it comes out.
I actually am really interested in Monster Hunter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it, but it's just something about it. I don't know.
Okay.
So I'm interested.
And then
Give it a try.
this one's up your alley, Val. Pokemon Go has made a staggering $1.8 billion in 2 years.
I've contributed a few, not a lot of that, but a part of it.
That game's massive still.
Yep.
Oh my god. I have a lot that I could talk about with Pokemon Go.
Now's the time.
I mean, I play it all the time.
Yeah.
Now that I have a different job and I'm going to be traveling less, I think maybe that'll take away, but I play it so much. Like, my Pokédex is, like, really, really good.
What level are you, Val?
29.
Okay, you're further than me.
About halfway to 30, I would say, at this point.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, my Pokedex, I pay way too much attention. I remind Dan constantly that he's married to a 10-year-old boy because, I play so much Pokemon Go. It's ridiculous. But I think it's just the collection aspect of it to me. Like, I want the full, complete Pokedex. I want everything evolved. I want, there was a new version of something. Like, Dan sent me a gift, and I got, like, a different colored version of a Pokemon out of the egg that came in his gift, and I was like, oh my god, I was way too excited, and it was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get the shiny variant or the Alolan variant?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you remember what Pokemon it was?
It was a Meowth. I got a purple Meowth.
Did it look derpy?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the Alolan version of Meowth.
Okay. Nice.
So that's the Gen 7 when it takes place in the Alola region, and some Gen 1 Pokemon are in that, but because they live in a different habitat, they evolved differently.
Okay.
So some of them are different, like Vulpix and Sandshrew are ice variants, which are really cool looking. Yeah.
Oh, see, I want this. I love Sandshrew. I think that one's really cool. So.
Yeah, the Sandslash evolution looks really cool with like the instead of the spikes sticking out, it's like ice spikes. It looks really cool.
Awesome. Yeah. See, I'm a 10-year-old boy, but it's all good. It's fun because the kids get into it too. Like, they're like, oh, which Pokemon? And like when I have an egg hatching, I'm like, guys, an egg's hatching, and we like look to see what it is, and so it's fun.
One thing we haven't done is a Pokeball run over at
we
Binghamton
haven't.
University campus.
Well, I've been traveling so much that I have storage for 650 items, and I almost always have 650 items. So yeah, but part of that is because I have so many Pokemon in my Pokedex now that I don't always need to catch everything that I see, so I'm not using all my Pokeballs. So yeah, it's a problem, but it's really fun.
Do you know what I do, Val? I don't know if you do this, but I get rid of all of the potions because I hardly ever battle.
Yep, I always, because I actually have never done the battles or anything like that. Yeah, so I'm I get rid of those immediately, and then usually what I do is I get rid of the like basic Pokeballs if I'm at a Pokestop, so that I can get, if there's something good in the Pokestop. I have a whole system.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you got it down.
Yeah. Oh, I do. Well, when you spend as much time like traveling around as I do, and it's funny because a school district that I worked with, really rural in the middle of nowhere. You get there's always like 20 Pokemon, always.
Really?
Oh yeah, like every time. I'm like, they must know there's nothing else going on out here. Because there's always so many.
I wonder what causes them to be like, this random area is gonna have a lot of Pokemon.
Yeah, it's so many every time. I'm always like, what Pokemon am I gonna get today? Like, it's amazing. But
yeah,
I started playing a bit more too. There's more reason to play now, I think, than there ever has been. They have like, I don't want to say dailies, but like missions you can do to get experience and unlock bonuses and stuff. So it's definitely more interesting to play than it ever has been. And they do gifts now that you get from Pokestops. So when I don't get gifts as often because I don't hit as many Pokestops, but she's been sending me gifts every day. So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And one thing I recommend, because I don't like to spend actual money, so I do Google Play, like the surveys, and then I build up enough money, and then when I get enough money, I'll buy Pokeballs, and then I buy whatever I need. So I use the Google Play surveys. I rarely use my own money, so it's a way to avoid, having to pay something.
That's smart. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, I planned it out.
Corey, any nibble bits?
Yeah. Nope.
Okay. Val, any nibble bits?
No. I want to thank, who was that in the chat, though?
Where?
That said that.
Tate.
Tate. Thank you, Tate. I appreciate that. And yes, I actually have something to say about, he mentioned something about me wearing the hockey jersey that I mentioned last time. I have a little story about that, an update about that. So, yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah. Will, how's your week?
Good, boring. I'm sure Val and Corey have way more interesting things to add than I will, so I'm just going to turn it over to them.
Okay. Corey?
Okay, Val.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nothing. Val, go ahead.
Go ahead, Val.
Oh, so I'll tell the hockey update. So I had mentioned the last time I was on, it was right around when the Predators got eliminated. And I had worn my hockey jersey to work, and everyone was like, "Oh, you're so cute. Do you know what sport that is?" And blah, 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 whatever. Didn't think it was my jersey. It was my jersey. I mean, I know I've been very purposeful about learning a lot about hockey, and I can hold a pretty good conversation now, I think, about more than just the Predators. Like, I've really, really worked on that. So anyway, the following week after I was on the podcast, I was back at my home office, and one of the girls that had just started, she came over and she's like, "Hey," she's like, "I saw your team got eliminated. I'm really sorry." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And she was like, "Yeah," she's like, "My husband and I have never really watched hockey, but I knew it was your team, so we decided to watch it." And I was like, "That's awesome." So I was like, if I had to put up with people heckling me about not knowing what hockey was, it was worth it, because I got some people interested in hockey. So that was really exciting. So so that was a nice little update to my story.
Happy ending.
Yeah, happy ending to the story. Got someone interested. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh.
New job.
So I did get a new job. Dan mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but I'm not going to be traveling like a crazy person anymore. So that is very exciting. I've put, in a year and 8 months, I put 45,000 miles on my car, which is disgusting. So I'll be 22 minutes from home. My official title is Director of Data and Instructional Progress. I went in a couple days, and it was a little awkward because I had to work with some of our former teachers and be like a supervisor to them. So that was a little bit of a weird role. But
you assert dominance early.
Oh yeah.
Just flip over a table in a meeting.
Oh yeah.
And yell.
Let them know who's boss.
Just have it. Yeah, just have it. No, but it was funny because the one former teacher that I saw, I was like, oh man, this starting right off with a former teacher. And then he started talking, and he was 100 times more nervous than I was, because I think he was like, whoa, I don't know if he was intimidated or what the deal was, but he was like a nervous wreck. So it was pretty funny. It made me feel better.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was cool. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And then, the other thing I was going to update was I'm still doing the workout that I mentioned the last time I was on, 80-Day Obsession, it's called, but it's a Beachbody program. I am on day 66 today. So after this, I get to go do total body core for an hour. Yeah, really exciting. But I highly recommend the program if you're looking for something. I would not recommend it if you're new to working out, though, because I've been working out for a while, like fairly consistently, and it's intense. It's a really intense program, but if you do it, you can do it just very, very modified. So if you're interested in 80-Day Obsession, I would highly recommend it, but it's a lot of commitment. The nutrition plan I don't follow because it's a lot of work, so just something to think about with it, but really recommend it.
Yeah, Corey, you gonna get on a workout program?
I have not worked out since my awful Spartan race at the beginning of May.
And you
I
couldn't
don't
walk
blame
for a
you.
few days afterwards?
Yeah.
I've done literally nothing.
Yeah. I don't blame you at all.
You bum.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I'll do like the fat man things where I'll like have my shirt off and I'll like squat and let my boobs hang really low and let my gut hang out and I'll be like, Sophie, I'm so fat, and she'll like try to take video of it and I
Oh my
put it
God.
away before she gets the video out. So
Uh-huh.
That's great.
that's my life.
Nice.
Nice.
Sounds
Man,
like fun.
Yeah.
you're lifting it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And Dan's been working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not long. 10 or 15 minutes is about all I can do, and then I can't pick up my arms. But kettlebell stuff. I do kettlebell as hard as I can for 10 to 15 minutes, and
I love kettlebell.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Kettlebells in the program that I do too.
Yeah.
We use weights, but same idea. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Dan, is there any chance I can get you into Get Hard Fitness for a night? And
Probably not. Here's the thing: if I can't
Fair.
do it in my house,
Yeah.
and only take 15 or 20 minutes, it's just not going to happen. I don't have enough time in the day. I'll go with you one time, but I won't be able to join.
Yeah.
I'll get I would never expect anybody to actually go to that
I'll
gym.
go-
I sneak them in.
Oh well, I'll go with you one time. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check on our house.
Yeah. Did you hear a crash out there?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, the older
Felt
two are still awake, so who knows what they're getting into.
Fist fights.
They do a lot of fighting. So
Marlo beating up Max again.
she's pretty tough, man. But yeah, a couple updates. One thing I actually forgot to mention last week is we got, and I don't know if you guys know about these, we got a HDTV bias light. And what it is, it's a LED light strip that you plug into the USB port on your TV, and it glows like up against the wall. It's supposed to reduce eye strain. I don't know if I buy that, but it looks really cool. It was only like $15, and it does different colors up against the wall. The only problem is it's on like a turquoise colored wall, so the colors are a little bit messed up. But it looks really cool. So if you're interested in those, I would recommend it. Also, we're doing a crazy amount of house projects.
Yes.
I painted the kitchen this past. Was it Saturday?
Saturday from noon to 12:45.
Yeah, for about 12 hours I spent painting the kitchen. It wasn't the painting that was the hard part. It was the taping off of trim and stuff.
Yeah.
So I did, because after we moved our table out of the kitchen, which is now in here in the dining room / office,
Yeah.
the wall where the table was just covered in greasy handprints and old food. So
Yeah,
I was like,
gross.
we have to paint like this. They were so stained and so ingrained into the wall that there was no like cleaning the wall. So we decided to paint. I did 2 coats of Kills primer and then 2 coats of the paint. It didn't really need 2 coats of paint, but we did 2 coats of paint. We did like a teal type color, and it looks fantastic.
It's awesome.
So now we're like, you get the whole project creep. I don't know if you guys are familiar with project creep, but now we're like, we want to paint the cabinets. We want to put in recessed lighting. I want to do a new backsplash.
I want a new floor.
Yeah, we want to do a new floor.
Yeah.
And we're just like, well, we're going to paint this room hopefully this weekend. So
Yeah.
this is the last room. When we moved into the house, this is the last room that we painted the original colors when we moved in. This is the last holdout. So
Yep. And it has drawing on it and stickers and all sorts of things from the kids. So, yeah. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to mention real quick is that I bought Skyward Sword digitally for the Wii U. When my son went to play it because he's really interested in all things Legend of Zelda right now,
Yes.
realizes you need a Wii Motion Plus controller for it. We don't have it.
No.
Yeah, we had one, but I threw it out. I was like, we're never going to need this again. I'm just going to get rid of it. Yeah, we had one.
I knew we were going to get a Wii U again.
Well, that was from the Wii, not even the
Oh,
Wii U.
it's from the Wii. Oh, geez.
Yeah,
Well,
so
that makes
I
more
threw it
sense.
out. So I
Yeah.
bought a Wii Motion Plus Wiimote with Toad on it, so
It's
we
really
can play.
awesome.
So I want to get to play that. I need to play Twilight Princess. So
I can't believe you hadn't played some of those.
I haven't played either one of those games.
Yeah, if you play Skyward Sword before Twilight Princess, I'm gonna slap you.
I'm not going to. I'm gonna try to do it in order because we got the NES Classic too. So I want to play. I want to play through all the Legend of Zelda games, starting with the first one, then Legend of Zelda 2.
Yeah.
I'll revisit because I have played A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
I want to play Ocarina of Time. I never beat Ocarina of Time. I don't think I ever played Majora's Mask. So I've got some work to do.
Yeah, you know what? I've only played like 4 Zelda games total.
Yeah.
I will say the remastered version of Ocarina of Time. It's on the 3DS. I don't know if it's also on the Switch, but it's worth it.
Okay. It's good to know.
Worth it.
Yeah. I'd like to add that the noise that we heard was actually our son being Link
Oh yeah, yeah.
and breaking
Yeah.
things potentially,
Nice.
knocking
Good
things
for him.
over.
He's got a foam
He-
Master Sword and a costume and a
Oh yeah,
hero's shield. Hero
he's got
shield.
the whole thing, and it's great. Yeah, I love to see the creativity in that. So
Because he makes his own weapons too.
oh yeah, and he always has a story going, and like you can see like kind of what's going on if you really watch him. It's pretty cool. I really like it.
Corey, you haven't seen Max in his Link get up, right?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's pretty
really
good.
It's good. Yeah.
He doesn't need a Halloween costume.
No, and our daughter really wants to be Zelda if she decides to not be Moana,
Right.
because we're really into Moana right now. But yeah,
I just watched that movie, by the way.
Oh, it's really good. It's really not bad.
It's the first movie I've seen since It.
Yeah.
So
Ugh.
two polar opposites.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That's everything for our weeks. Did you have anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think I did.
Okay. Let's get into what we played then, shall we?
Yeah.
Will, you want to get started?
Yeah, Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight.
Oh
Hit
my
it, buddy.
God.
Let's hear it.
That game. The more I okay, so I think it was last week. Dan and I were both sitting there saying like, yeah, like I can't play more than 2 hours of it at a time. You know, it gets hard. It's kind of frustrating. So whatever. But man, I played 9 hours in one day.
Nice.
It was yesterday, and I just woke up at like 10, and I sat down and played and played and played, and then 8 o'clock rolled around, and I'm like, I need to stop being a bum. And it was one of those things where like I would do a boss fight or whatever, or get a new item, and I'd be like, all right, I'll stop here, and like I would, dock my controllers onto the side of the Switch and go do something else for like 5 minutes, and then I would be like, I want to go play more Hollow Knight, and I did that like 3 or 4 times, so. I had some real high ups yesterday and some real low points. I lost a lot of Geo. In fact, while you guys were recording the main segment, I lost 1,500 Geo in the Royal Waterways, which really upset me. But I don't know, Dan. How far are you?
I've just been going back and revisiting areas that I missed before. Now that I have the grapple, the Mantis grapple ability.
Okay.
So I haven't progressed too much further.
Because I've gotten.
I'm kind of grinding a little bit, grinding out some Geo to unlock some more of the pins. For the map.
Did you figure out how to get more notches for charms, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. Because I just recently started collecting charms to be able to buy more of those.
Yeah.
But like I totally missed that merchant in the Forgotten Crossroads. I had no idea she was there.
Yeah, I don't remember where she is because I don't have the merchant pins, so I already don't remember.
That game it does so well with like first of all, the story to the game is actually really good. It's kind of hard to try and figure out everything because there's a lot going on.
Well, it's subtle, which I like, and that's one of the things I liked about the story in Breath of the Wild. A lot of people didn't like the story, but I liked that it was in the background of what you were doing, and you had to like search it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, there's actually a YouTube video. It's 45 minutes long about the lore and the story to the Hollow Knight world. So as soon as I beat the game, I'm going to watch it to see how everything comes together, because what I am seeing really fascinates me. And there's things that I'm doing now which I didn't expect to be part of the game that like are trying to tie into the story. and I'm just kind of like, my mind's kind of blown, and I kind of need somebody to tie it all together because I'm really fascinated with this game's world because it's just really, it's really cool. Like, one of my favorite moments in the game, Dan, I don't know, you haven't got there, but I think Corey might have. It's the fungal wastes.
I've been through the fungal wastes.
Okay. So there's a tribe of mantises in there
Yeah,
they're difficult to fight, but I ended up beating the boss there, and it was really cool because after I beat the boss, like the three head mantises like kind of bowed to me or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. So then when I was going through the rest of the fungal waste, the mantis like bowed to me and wouldn't attack me. So it was just kind of like a really cool thing, like, you know, winning the respect of an entire area, so I didn't have to fight anymore, and I could kind of travel freely without having to deal with anything. That's like a really cool moment in the game, but I'm getting really pretty deep into it. I'm 22 hours in right now, and I've explored a lot of the different areas. It's just so good. Like, I have looked things up, though, I should say that, just to kind of
keep moving.
There's a lot of things going on in the game in different like areas that you can go to, and I don't want to be stuck in a spot and not knowing what to do and then kind of get disinterested. So when I kind of like do something and I'm like, well, what should I do now? I pick an area, and then I kind of look at the area online to be like, well, what can I do in this area? I know some people wouldn't like that because it's not you discovering the game like on its own, but I don't want to stop playing this game, so it's kind of keeping me on target to play like and finish the game in a reasonable amount of time as opposed to 500 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know they're adding another DLC pack for free, Gods and Glory, which is really cool. So there's that, and then there's something about a Hornet story, which is one of the bosses. I guess Hornet's gonna be a playable character.
Nice.
That's something that they're adding in DLC. I guess that was a stretch goal for Kickstarter. So that's really cool. I'm really loving the game. It's one of my favorite games this year, by far.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's everything?
Pretty much. That's legitimately all. I want to play more Mario Tennis, but if I run into Bowser Jr. one more time online.
Yeah, I've heard some stories. I haven't played online, but
not even fun.
Yeah. All right, Corey, what do you got?
Oh, let's see. I beat Ni No Kuni 2.
Hey. Well done.
Thank you. Yesterday, actually, I finally beat it. That game is very well packed with things to do. To the point, I mean, it doesn't even really call attention to all the things it has going on, which I actually kind of like about it. But even after I beat it, like, it opened up a whole nother layer of grinding and stuff that I could do to get the best equipment, to get the best items and stuff like that, which I really like. And as far as JRPGs go, again, it doesn't really call a bunch of attention to itself, but it's one of those games that there is just so much going on behind the scenes and like side quest wise that you could lose easily 100 hours unlocking everything in that game. So I highly recommend it for JRPG fans. That's kind of the kick I've been on lately is JRPGs with Ni No Kuni 2. I'm really looking forward to Octopath Traveler, which comes out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I played a little bit of Dragon Quest Builders as well. I feel like that's like the only genre of game I'm really excited to try lately.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So highly recommend Ni No Kuni 2. I'm surprised you guys haven't played more of it.
I am too. I'm surprised.
How far did you guys get?
I
3 hours.
Yeah, I think I put like 30 hours in, maybe 25 to 30.
Oh wow. Okay, I had no idea you were that far into it.
Yeah, I just haven't played stuff on my computer.
Yeah.
Just the Switch is so unbelievably convenient that
Yeah.
that's how I play most of my games. I think I played Far Cry 5 once in the past 2 weeks, maybe. So
Yeah, honestly, I haven't played a console game. I think God of War was the last one I played in April.
yeah.
Other than Switch, obviously, it's the only thing that I play anything on anymore.
Yeah. Fair enough. But I will say, like, it's worth playing. It's really worth like knuckling down. And they recently released difficulty modes. I don't
I
know
was
if you
gonna
guys
ask.
knew that.
I was gonna ask you about that, Corey. If you had tried that, because I know one of
Yeah.
your complaints about the game was that it was
It was
easy,
too
and
easy.
I kind of
Yep.
got that impression too.
Yeah, so I was about level 40 or so when they released the difficulty update, and you could turn it up to hard or expert. And I played the rest of the game on hard, and it was awesome. I had a great time. Much more challenging. You had to make sure everybody was upgraded in the right way. You had to make sure your higgledies were set. Everything, which was a welcome change because that game really was too easy. And I think I was like level 50 something, just mowing down these enemies without any issue at all, and that just wasn't fun. So yeah, I highly recommend revisiting it after the difficulty upgrade because it did make a big difference. And it was kind of nice because it's not just that they made it more difficult, it's that if you are ready to play and you turn on the harder difficulty, you are rewarded with better equipment. The rewards for the drops are better too. So it's not just that. It's you get a benefit out of turning the difficulty up. So, and I've definitely noticed it. Highly recommended game. There's just, especially the end game stuff, there's just so much you can do that you don't really even realize while you're playing the early parts of the game, everything that's going on. And even after you beat it, they provide you with some things to keep you entertained for a dozen more hours or so. Surprisingly deep JRPG. And I don't know, I love that game. The art style, everything. Highly recommended.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
What do you have, Val?
I played a little bit of Super Mario Brothers Wii U. The kids really like watching it, and I don't know. I was just like, I want to play a video game at least for a little bit. I really like that game, and it's funny because our kids can play Mario Odyssey and do great with the 3D or whatever, but they try a platformer and they just
2D,
don't
yeah.
like a 2D, and they just don't have the skill to do it. And I don't know, it's just they're so different. Their brains are just wired differently, I swear, because they just don't pick it up. Like I can watch, I watched Max play Breath of the Wild, and I'm like, I don't even know where to start with that, but I get him on a 2D and he's like, he keeps falling, and he's not jumping at the right time, and he's not fast running, and it's really funny. But yeah, that's a really fun game, and I hope I can spend a little more time with it because I want to beat it again and go through the whole thing, because I know the end with Bowser's pretty cool.
Yeah.
From what I remember of it. So yeah, that's it.
It's funny watching younger kids play 3D games and they can blitz through it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you get them to the
camera
2D.
angles, yeah.
Yep.
Like the camera angles, it's nothing to them, and yeah, 2D just it's hard for them.
It is hard for them.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I used to play Super Mario 3 with Allison, I would be able to play like Galaxy no problem and way harder games, but I couldn't play Mario 3, but Allison would destroy me in that, and I
Right?
could beat her in that, like the harder games. I don't know, it was weird.
Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned it before. I might have. But like I was reading an article, being in education and everything. Like I was reading an article about kids' brains, and it says like our brains are evolving with technology. Kids that are born now, their brains are even different than like when Max was born 7 years ago. Like their brains have evolved to know how to use technology, and we see it with the twins.
Yeah, they can unlock our phones.
They unlock our phones. They know to hold they hold buttons. They know how to find apps. Like I'm like, this is, and it never was a struggle for them.
And
They've just always known how to do it.
We've got the Galaxy phones. There's not a physical button, but there's a little like
Just
on-screen button, and they know that you have to hold that down to unlock the phone.
Yeah, or they'll try to swipe it. Like they know. It's amazing. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Like I feel like we're just at the start of brain research and learning how the brain functions and how it evolves over time, and it's really interesting stuff to see that.
Yeah. Kids are impressive too. I mean, I even remember when Will was just a kid. Like some of the things that he could recall, game show hosts and sports stats and stuff. Like that was very impressive.
Yep. Well, like I was saying, like with our oldest son being Link, like the things that he acts out and remembers and says and talks about, and he's describing these things, I'm like, I have no clue. I have no clue. And for
it's
him
awesome,
to,
right?
Yeah, and for him to like create that and be able to explain it, you know, and I've often said, like, you know, school, as someone in education, school sometimes squashes that and doesn't let that, you know, freedom to like think differently be there. So I encourage that as much as I can at home, because it's not always accepted and encouraged at school. So, but that's part of my hope as a leader in education, to kind of change that mindset a little bit. So
Right.
Yeah, Val, school killed any creativity I had.
yeah, I think for me, like school, a lot of school ruined reading for me. Like I was an avid reader when I was a kid, and now I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
like I don't want to read
hate
anything. Yeah. So, yeah. Yep. But that's a topic for a whole other podcast, because I could go
I
on
do.
and on.
I do want to have an episode on that.
Yeah,
because
for
that's
sure.
interesting to me too.
Yeah.
So, okay. Anything else?
Other than Pokemon Go, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Nope.
Like I said, so I've been bouncing around quite a bit. I did Mario Tennis Aces. I'm working through the single player stuff. I beat the single player tournament. I don't know if I had done that last week, but it's kind of frustrating actually. The single player story mode stuff. Corey actually was looking for suggestions for a game to buy, and he threw out Mario Tennis Aces, and I was like, I don't know. That's probably not a good one for you, Corey. But because it's like I really bought it more for the 3 to 4 player couch co-op type of stuff to play with the kids and Val.
They
so
love it.
yeah. So that's why I bought it. The online is corrupted right now. Will had mentioned Bowser Jr. Apparently everyone online plays as Bowser Jr. I haven't played online in like a week and a half or so. But yeah, apparently he's the unbeatable character in Mario Tennis Aces online. So
That's no fun.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
crap. They need to get that fixed.
So
ASAP.
hopefully they patch him and fix it up so that it's a little more competitive with other characters. So I played a little bit of that. Also played some Hollow Knight, like Will talked about earlier. I haven't played maybe 2 more hours I played, but I've mostly been grinding to try to get the map pins, so I can map things out a little bit better than I have. So Corey. Silly. And then I've been playing, like, as much as I try to play other things, I keep coming back to Breath of the Wild. And part of it is because my kids are playing it, both of them. They're the 2 older ones, I should say, and they ask me questions about it constantly. And we watch Zach Scott Games Breath of the Wild videos near constantly. So I'm steeped in Breath of the Wild right now, and it makes me want to play it even more. So I've been working through Trial of the Sword. I hadn't done that from my previous 135 hours that I've put into Breath of the Wild.
That's crazy.
So I'm working on that. I got through the first 2 levels of the Trial of the Sword. I've got to do the 3rd one. But that's quite fun. What an amazing game. Like, I just feel like I could play that game forever. It's going to be in my top 5 favorite games of all time. Easily.
Yeah, my biggest podcast regret was letting Corey and Eric talk me out of putting that top in my top 10.
When will you revisit? Episode
400.
400.
Wow.
Next year, right? Early next year.
It'll be
March?
March or April.
Wow.
I calculated. I don't recall. But yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
So good.
when Corey and Eric do that episode, it's going to be like Fortnite and Rocket League and...
Hey, I don't play Fortnite.
No, the Fortnite was for Eric.
Oh, speaking of Fortnite, I actually meant to put this in Nibblebits because I think this is important, but Fortnite added the tilt controls, the gyro controls on the Switch.
Oh, nice.
So that's amazing. So I might actually give that a shot on the Switch now.
Yeah.
Because I've been asking for that in all first-person games. Once I got used to the aiming in the Breath of the Wild, I can't play shooters of any kind with the controller. So that's a nice compromise between thumbsticks and keyboard and mouse setup. So
Yeah.
But a lot of people say it works really well from what I gather on the Nintendo Switch subreddit.
There you go.
So.
Nice.
I don't believe I played anything else.
I'm trying
Dan,
to remember if you
Yeah.
did.
I apologize, but I'm watching the stream and I'm seeing Captain Spirit in a car.
Yeah.
In the truck.
Yeah.
You didn't do that?
Oh, you didn't
No.
do that?
That's how you missed the part. This is where he goes to the
Like a planet.
Nendoroid or
I missed that whole thing. How did I
Yeah.
miss all of that?
you didn't find the keys to the truck.
Yeah.
No,
be.
by the couch, on the side of the couch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then
I
you go out
found
to
them.
the truck and unlock it and get in.
I never had an opportunity to go outside. As soon as I was ready to go outside, I had the grandma next door knocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a part in the stream that we did not see.
Yeah.
And I was almost crying.
Yep.
Just an FYI. That was really, oh my gosh. It was a very sad moment.
Yeah. So that's all I played. Let's get into feedback, shall we?
Yes.
Okay. I usually like to have it called up, but I didn't. I got distracted.
Ugh, well, we had a crazy night.
Yes, we did. Okay, so I will finish Tate. Tate, obviously, we talked about his Life is Strange theory earlier, so I'll just read the rest of his email. He says, sup, guys? Hope you are doing well. First, I wanted to comment on last week's episode. Some very patriotic people in gaming. I thought of our Preston Garvey, head of the Minutemen in Fallout 4, and probably the most America person in any game, Clutch Nixon in Far Cry 5. Even though you never meet this character, he's obviously an American legend, as every time you go to read one of his plaques, an eagle soars through a bunch of fireworks, and he has some great stories. Very, very true. This is his Life is Strange theory. He says, anyways, I listened to all the old Thummies episodes while at work, and I was wondering this year if it'll be just Dan and Will for the Thummies, or if you guys were planning on bringing on any guests for that, if Corey and Eric won't be on. I know it's far away, but it just got me wondering how it'll be this year after listening to all the old ones and all the great arguments that were had. Anyways, thanks, guys, and have a good one. Taterade out. Preston Garvey is a character I completely forgot about, actually. That's a good one. That's a great one.
A lot of settlements to take care of.
Yep.
yeah.
Like a good president.
Yes. And then, Clutch Nixon, definitely. He's the Evil Knievel type of character in Far Cry 5. Thummies. I mean, me and Will had already talked about this, but if it's just going to be us, what we're going to do is have all the categories and have our games, and we'll hash it out live and choose a winner. Mm-hmm. So, Dave says Corey and Eric are not eligible for Thummies this year.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you guys gotta...
I mean, considering by the end of the year, I probably will have played like 6 video games.
Right.
I probably should not be eligible to vote.
I mean, I feel like I've generally played fewer games than usual, but I also haven't been finishing things like I like to do. But it's because if things are on the Switch, it's hard for me to get in here to play them. So we'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm. Is that the?
But yeah, what?
Is that the streets that you were talking
Yes.
about?
Yeah, Corey, if you look in the video, this is the part where you see the street names on the sign.
Oh yeah, where did that come from?
What?
Yeah,
This is part of the game?
This is his imagination.
This is part of the truck.
Where he invades the planet of the supervillain.
I never saw any of this.
Yeah, you missed out. It's good stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the plan as of now, Tate. Me and Will hashing it out live and figuring out a winner based on the games that we bring to the table. So that's the plan for now. That's going to change.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll have a plan for you. So this is Idaho Jake. He says, "Hey guys, I weighed myself and I was 208, but since today is my birthday, I ate 4 pieces of pizza and I feel gross, but it tasted so good." I bought myself a present. It's a game called Power Star Golf. Plays like Mario Golf. It's free to play, but then it's only $20 for the full version. So since I liked it so much, I bought it. I got a phone call from my son on Sunday, and he is having fun. He is shooting his M4 And Tuesday, he got to throw grenades. Now for Idaho Jake's This Day in Gaming History, 2000, Fur Fighters was released on Dreamcast, and Transformers Beast Wars was released on Nintendo 64. 2004, Pokemon Box Ruby and Sapphire was released on GameCube, and Bethesda licensed Fallout from Interplay Games to develop and publish Fallout 3. 2011, Elder Scrolls Oblivion 5th Anniversary was released on all platforms, and EA bought PopCap Games for $750 million. And today, Ghost 1.0, Holy Potatoes, and Bomb Chicken are downloadable on the Switch. Thanks, guys, and have a great day. Has PopCap done anything since they were acquired by EA?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure they have, but nothing that made any sort of splash.
Yeah, nothing that caught our interest anyway. I'm not the one to talk about mobile games because I play almost none of them. So.
Oh, good thing Corey's back this episode for that question.
I did actually play a very interesting mobile game, which I did not talk about in what we played, but I forget the name of it. Hang on, let me call it up because I still have it. It was like late at night. I couldn't fall asleep. I was laying in bed. I'm like, I need to do something to entertain myself. So the name of the game is Choices.
Choices.
This little number here.
Okay.
And it's like a dating sim kind of thing, and you pick what you want to say to these women, and then you go on a date with them. But it was the type of thing where there's microtransactions all along the way. So when I was picking my outfit, it's like, oh, for your 25 diamonds, you can pick the perfect outfit for this girl you're going on a date with. And I was like, why not? I want to look perfect. So I got this nice, I forget, the color is like a nude color. I don't know what that means, but that was the dress I chose because that was the color that this woman really loved. So I wore it for this date, and then at the end of the date, she's like, you can come home with me if you want. And I was like, yeah, I would love to. But it was another microtransaction, and I had already spent all my diamonds on the dress that I wore for the night. So I couldn't go home with her because I didn't have enough diamonds to choose that option.
Oh, man.
How BS is that?
That is BS.
What game is this again?
I don't know. It's called Choices.
Corey,
something or other.
Have you ever heard of Reigns?
Dumbest game ever. I don't know what that is. Reigns?
Yeah.
No.
It's mobile. I think it's on PC too, but it's supposedly it's like one of those dating apps, but it's with kings and queens. It's really interesting. It's something I have I'm meaning to get on mobile just to play, but yeah, it's called Reigns.
Okay.
Looks interesting. Might be something you're interested in if you're into the dating sim games.
Well, I wasn't, but this game was so highly reviewed, and I played it, and I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I have to pay money to like go home with this girl that I thought we had a great date with. I don't know.
Reefer says Reigns is great and that you'd love it. So there you go.
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, like I said, it's on PC too. It might even, I don't think it's on Switch yet. It might be on consoles, but it should be on Switch like everything else.
Seriously. Oh, you know what? Before we move on, are we ready to move on?
Yeah.
Because I did not talk about Dragon Quest Builders.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Which so my Switch came today. My second Switch came today, and I needed something to play before Octopath Traveler comes out tomorrow. And Eric recommended the Dragon Quest Builders demo because I had expressed interest in that in the past. And that game's awesome. I don't know, Will, I know you love Terraria, right?
Oh my god, yeah.
And you absolutely need to play Dragon Quest Builders. It's Minecraft in a Japanese role-playing game. It's awesome.
All right, I'll watch something here.
Yeah, I had a great time playing
I
it.
can call up some Dragon Quest Builders.
Highly recommended. I know Kotaku has it on its best games for the Nintendo Switch, which I think they only choose like 12 games for their consoles. So top 12 games for the Switch. Highly recommended. I loved it. I had a good time. Looking forward to seeing what else. I'll probably end up buying it. I just played the free demo for like an hour and a half. So
how much is this?
I think it's 35.
Yeah, that sounds right for the full price game.
Can you and I adventure together, Corey?
I don't think it's multiplayer, but I don't know for sure. I really don't.
Okay.
Okay. Later, Avenger. I'm saying bye in chat. Too. Okay. Game giveaway. All
right.
We got two. Tate,
2 people.
Tate 1, Jake 2.
And the winner is Tate.
Tate.
Yay!
Right.
Your first
Taterade.
time tuning into a stream, you win.
Taterade. That's like my favorite. Taterade.
Taterade out.
Taterade
All right.
out.
Is it 1 through 150?
Yes. Let me...
We were not prepared.
No.
Corey, we've got this game giveaway thing down pretty good.
Nice.
Oh, there we go. There it is.
Okay, there's the list. Let me put Tate on the bottom so I know. I gotta send Alex his games too. Okay. Go ahead, Will.
Is it 1 through 150?
1 through 150.
We're down to 150 games.
A lot of the ones, yeah, we had some removed. I didn't put too many repeats in here either.
So, the very first number is 69.
Nice.
9 is Grim Legends 2, Song of the Dark Swan.
Nice.
Wow, I would be interested in that.
Next, 35.
35 is Kingdom, New Lands Royal Edition.
Wow.
That's a good one. That's on Steam. That's also on the Switch. One that I've been tempted to buy on the Switch.
69 got up again.
Oh, reroll.
Nice.
Nice. So 91.
91. Okay. 91 is Poker Night at the Inventory.
That comes up
Good.
all the time.
Yes, it does.
Great game. Highly recommended. If you're ever very lonely, Poker Night at the Inventory is a fantastic game.
Nice.
Next, 96.
96 is The Walking Dead 400 Days.
Is that was the like interlude, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was like the 1 episode game.
Okay. Between season 1 and 2.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think it was 1 and 2.
Gotcha.
26.
26 is blank. Roll again.
I was gonna say nothing.
I'm surprised we got a blank out of all the numbers.
64.
64 is Hotline Miami 2, wrong number.
Great game.
That's a good one.
Well,
Not as good as
Dan,
the first.
to be fair, it's been a weird giveaway night. We got 69 twice, then we got 96, which is the reverse.
Yes.
Yeah. The number
Oh,
generators
shit.
being lazy is what's happening.
Giving us
It-
the same
it always
numbers.
seems to
Lazy
be.
and perverted.
It always seems to be. So your choices are Grim Legends 2, Song of the Dark Swan. 35 is Kingdom, New Lands Royal Edition. 91 is Poker Night at the Inventory. 96 is The Walking Dead 400 Days. And 64 is Hotline Miami 2, wrong number. So those are your choices. Tate, let us know. If you don't let us know in a few days, I will email you with the list of games and just respond with which one you want. Alex, I will email you hopefully tonight or tomorrow with your games from last week. So, yeah. That's everything. Next, I don't think we're going to do Octopath Traveler next week. I think Octopath Traveler is going to be in 2 weeks because it's a long game. So I want to get as much time as possible in with it over the next 2 weeks. So right? We don't want to try to do that for next week.
It does sound like all of the originals will be back for Octopath Traveler, though, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it seems
they
that way.
did.
It seems that way. Eric is getting it and is going to play it. So obviously the rest of us are because we're here and we're talking about it. So yeah, that'll be fun. So we're not sure what we're going to do next week. We will have an episode for you and a topic, and it'll be a Thursday night. Even if I don't let you know early in the week, which I like to, it'll be the usual time. So
The reason we don't let you guys know what the episode is because we don't know.
even when we do know, I like just all of a sudden it was Thursday, and I was like, oh crap, I haven't been on my computer in like 6 days.
Yeah.
I better make the graphic and put up a notification on Facebook.
It's been
So-
2 weeks in a row where Thursday came pretty quick.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, it does.
Chaos around here.
Summer is flying by.
It is.
For too long,
Yeah,
we're
no
going to all be
kidding.
back at school.
I know.
Well,
Well, I hope to not be back at school.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
won't be back at school.
I was gonna say, I think I can guarantee that Dan will not be back at school.
Hell no.
Unless he's like visiting me in my office or something.
The Newark Valley residents and Val.
Yeah. Yep.
Later, Jake. We'll take it easy, man. Once again, if you want to help the podcast, we are now Twitch affiliated, so you can subscribe to us with Twitch Prime. With your Twitch Prime, just connect your Twitch account with your Amazon Prime account. You get a free subscription every 30 days. If you can subscribe to our channel without having to spend a dime. That's fantastic. So that helps us too. Get popularity, spread the word of the pod. Yes, Dave, go put some pants on, please. Before you go, Dave mentioned us wanting to do a cross-promotional thing for his YouTube channel. We are going to do that. He wants us to film a video, so I'm gonna do that. We'll talk about it hopefully next week.
Ooh, can I be in this video?
Well, yeah, he wants us. He had asked. I meant to tell you guys this, and I'm just so bad at communicating that we'll talk about it after the episode's over.
Can I not wear pants like Dave doesn't wear pants when we record?
Yeah, I mean, you would stand up and be wearing boxers, polka dotted boxers.
Yeah. All right.
When you're yelling something, You wear a suit and tie up top and boxers underneath.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
You got it. Yeah.
So yeah, that'll do it for episode 364 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Will.
Corey.
I'm Val.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement. All right.
That was a fun episode.
That was a fun